Everyone, welcome back. Kult of Athena Blade Reviews. Today we've got something really interesting. We've got Age of Craft. This is the brand that we're working with. These are based in the Ukraine, and these are sport fighting weapons specifically. So these are going to be really heavy duty. We've got the Type 2 Falchion. So this one, just a real quick overview. We're going to do over specs in just a moment. We've got the Mace with 6 flanges here as well. And we also have what they are considering the Type 2 axe. Let's do some specs on all of these. And then we're actually going to go ahead, we set up the bob dummy and we put some armor on it. So just for a quick reference really quick, this isn't necessarily a destruction test on armor because these are sport fighting weapons. We want to showcase the durability of these products. I did a little bit of testing on them. The edges feel really good. The way they're manufacturing and putting the handles together really solid. Let's get to it. All right, first things first, let's look at the Falchion. This Falchion is obviously a beast. This one is 3 pounds, 10.8 ounces. They're using a G65 spring steel. And again, this is meant for contact, for full contact, for sport fighting. If we look at the pommel, this is actually welded. I don't get to say that very often, but this is welded. It's got a really solid leather grip to it as well. All right, overall length 30 3/4 inches on the Type 2 Falchion. We have 23 7/16 inches on the actual blade. This is a blunted tip. It is a G65 spring steel intended to be for full contact in armored fighting. The pommel is welded, so it's a single piece. I don't get to say that very often. And then also we have the leather grip as well with the flat short handguard as well, just to keep the blade from flinging out of your hand. All right, next one we have from Age of Craft is the Mace with 6 flanges. This one is 18 11/16 overall length. We have a little bit of decoration, really not decoration, but it's indented with burn marks. That is intended for grip. So if you want to choke up on this, this is more of about a fist length up the actual handle, good for proper balance for such a heavy piece of steel. 2 pounds, about 2.5 ounces, 2.5 ounces rather. So really cool flange here on these. All 6 of them are blunted, of course. You've got the shaft running through it. And you could, if you wanted to, you could drill a hole in this if you didn't want to do a cord wrap, or even just tie it with a piece of leather if you wanted that additional support. You see, this is also made in the Ukraine. It's the same company. And this is the G65 spring steel as well. All right, Type 2 Age of Craft axe here, 23 5/8 inches overall length. You'll see this has a little bit of a lip for grip, whether you're using this with 2 hands or if you were all the way down, if you did prefer to have it like that. That's just intended so that you have a little bit more retention. G65 spring steel on the blade. This one is just kind of popped on there. You can see adhesive as well running through that. That way the shaft stays in place. If you're hitting armor though, I mean, obviously the shaft could be replaceable, but this is looking like a really solid shaft for this axe. All right, so now we've taken a look at the specs on these. We're gonna go ahead and we set Bob up with some knight armor. And it's this mild steel, so this is not tempered armor. And again, it's not a destruction test on the armor. Of course, I know people are gonna probably comment and say, that's not how you would fight with that. I know, we're showing you Age of Craft weapons right now so that people who are doing this for sport fighting, they know what products they wanna buy and they can trust for the safety of obviously enjoying their sport and also just high quality products. All right, so we can see, sure, this is denting into here. I'm hitting pretty hard on this, but let's take a look at the actual weapon. So there's no burrs. There's a little bit right here, but you can just take a file to that. But nothing is chipping, which is what's really important because the eyes are still exposed somewhat in this helmet. Maybe yours won't be, but just so you can see it. Let's go to the shoulders. Let's see how this is gonna run on the shoulders. So obviously we got a little bit of dramatic effect with the chainmail because it's really rusted. If we go back to the side of the helmet, if we end up hitting this here on the hinge, it'll just break. But if we hit it from here to the side and we come out, still got a good crease on it as well with the flange. Shoulder, again, doesn't mean you're gonna fight like this. This is intended for the product. We come out to here, let's go single-handed. So the grip is really solid. I obviously don't have a glove on, but I see why they put it exactly where they did, about 1 fist length up from the end of the actual handle. Gets a little bit skinnier, so there's more wrist action here. If that's what you want, cool. I like to have a little bit more stability in the grip.
Good.
Type 2 Falchion. We're gonna try this out and see how it goes. Let's go two-handed. Not normally something I would do with this one, but this thing is over 3 pounds, so it's likely someone will want to see it enforced. I'll go on the pommel. I know somebody's gonna get mad. I'll go on the pommel, and then I'll also reinforce the thumb. That way the kickback doesn't go toward your face. Let's start on the pommel. Let's go to the chest. We've been beating the helmet up already a lot. Let's just see what that looks like here. So, plan on coming across. That was okay, could have been better. And then let's take a look at the blade. Again, nothing's chipping. We're obviously gonna get a little bit of some something you can just file out really quickly. Can you see that? Not a whole lot. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. There's no burrs on my hands either. You could, let's thrust it because somebody's gonna ask. I'll thrust the chest for YouTube. all for the internet. All right, then we'll reinforce the wrist. So we'll brace that wrist as well. That way we can work this out. I'm gonna go backhand horizontal, going to the other ear. Let's take a look. Yeah, pull it around. Just don't get too close. This thing's freaking, it's a long blade. Pretty good. Oh shoot, we broke the shoulder. Get in close. I'm just gonna thrust it. Just get in close. Yeah, you ready? You going? For it. We undressed him. All right, so immediately after that, let's take a look. The things I do for YouTube. So you're getting a little bit of metal, but if you have gloves on, which I really hope you do in your sport fighting, obviously you will. Very little damage at all. I'm going pretty close to full power into this, but you know, let's get in close on the helmet. So the chest plate and the shoulders are pretty much done, but let's just get a pan of like what that's doing. All right, looking at the Type 2 axe for the last one, and obviously this is all very smooth. Got the same spring steel that we're working with for sport fighting. We set the actual chest plate back up. It may fall. I am going to hit the shoulders as well, just to show the performance of this axe. And then let's see what we can do. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual axe, since that's the priority. Wow. Said I wasn't going to do that, but there's very little, if anything, there's no burrs. It's pretty impressive, actually. So, coming over to the helmet, we're going to see the seam split. And again, the objective, of course, is making sure that we're demonstrating Age of Craft items for sport fighting. It's not necessarily just about destruction tests of armor. we need to make sure we demo this. That way you guys know what you're buying. So if we pan this over, we obviously split this off. This did really well. Obviously the helmet's split. This is a munitions blowout helmet. Got some creases in from the flanged mace. Hit the back of the ear with the mace as well. We can pan around to that. You know, really solid crease in there. Hit the shoulders. It's a head and shoulders demo today. And obviously with the flanged mace, you can see that bites into it as well. So, all right, thanks for joining me for this Age of Craft weapon demo. The 6 flange mace from Age of Craft, the Type 2 Falchion. This thing was a beast. And also the Type 2 axe, which ended up being the MVP. So if you like the Age of Craft items, go ahead and check them out at cultofathena.com. The link for all 3 of these items is in the description below this video. As always, thank you for your support. Subscribe to the channel, like this video. We'll see you in the next one.